Welcome to the Mustafar Manifesto.
Alright guys, what up? Welcome to episode 6 of the Mustafar Manifesto. Yeah, we're back. It's been a while. How are you, Jayce? I missed you. I miss sitting here.
I was sick for a little bit, so we took kind of a hiatus on recording and whatever. But now I no longer am sick, and we're back.
Hopefully we got some, not hopefully, but I've seen it. Got some new art that'll probably be up in this one.
Yeah.
If not number 5, it will be up in this one in number 6.
I mean, potentially, because the next one that we post should hopefully have it and all that.
Yeah, if you don't know, Jayce does all art. He made that.
Yeah. The logo that we have now.
The Mustafar logo of Darth Vader's castle.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like it was so good.
I still have other ideas I've just been lazy and not doing, but
I know. Well, same here. I'm excited though. There'll be new stuff. It'll be popping.
Yeah, it'll be a progressional thing. But yeah, that's his episode.
Yeah, we just watched Solo.
Yeah, it's one of the films that it's not bad. I actually think it's pretty good, and pretty nicely done. But it has the hardest time sticking in my head.
I feel like it does drag on a little bit.
Like I've probably seen this movie now it's probably like the 5th time or whatever.
I think same, yeah. Maybe 4th.
I remember seeing it in theaters, and then
we saw it together, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
In the before times where
when that was allowed.
Yeah, and even when the new whole trilogy in films were going to be put out, like I remember when it was first announced, like everyone got hyped because there's a new trilogy that was gonna be happening, and then 3
This was kind of a dark time though. This was post Last Jedi. So like it was kind of like, I feel like that's why I enjoyed the movie so much when I saw it the first time.
It was definitely a refresher from how The Last Jedi was.
Yeah.
I'll say that. From like seeing how and going through watching The Last Jedi, and then, it was the next year, Solo came out.
I don't even think it was a whole year. It came out really, really soon after The Last Jedi, which I feel like was another bad move. And another reason why it lost so much money.
Did it lose a lot of money?
Yeah, it didn't do very good in the box office. That's why a lot of people don't really talk about it very much.
Yeah, I guess so.
It was also a little, I enjoyed it more than some movies. I didn't enjoy it as much as Rogue One. Because to me, Rogue One felt like a legit Star Wars prequel.
Yeah.
This didn't necessarily.
Well, I mean, with Rogue One,
it was really its own thing.
With Rogue One, they tie it in actual, this is basically, it would be 3.5, like episode 3.5, because then at the end starts episode 4 and all that. Whereas Solo is jokingly a solo film.
Yeah.
And it's by itself, which, it was alright. It just, I don't know, there was a lot of it that just wasn't very memorable for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some stuff where I was like, yeah, that kind of just seems like lazy writing.
Like, what was it? It was near the beginning.
It was.
Or it was his name.
When he got his name.
I have a problem with that.
I was like, because even this last time, I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll change my mind and come around to it. No, I just didn't really like that delivery for it.
Me neither. I think it would have been cooler if he just thought about it himself and then he just said it, I don't like that some random Imperial soldier gave that to him and then he just kept it forever.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nitpick, but I remember watching that in theaters and just being like, what?
Okay. Yeah, sure. But speaking of the beginning of the movie, I mean, it starts out like standard, well, we don't have
no title crawl.
Yeah, we don't have that, but we have the standard blue.
Yeah, I like how it just stuck with the blue text. It gave me very Clone Wars-y vibes.
But it also gave you more context. It was like, hey, here's a little bit of what's happening.
I loved the
And
whole Lady Proxima thing on Corellia.
is that
How
what her name was?
yeah, Lady Proxima. She was like that worm thing. It gave me like Fagin vibes and his little band of misfits. Have you ever seen Oliver Twist?
Don't think so.
It's the one where
The
like the little boy is like an orphan and he like runs away to New York or London or something and then falls in with like this gang and there's this old dude that teaches him how to pickpocket and he's like, "Please, sir, may I have some more?" He's
yeah,
like
I've
getting the
I've
porridge.
I've heard of it. It's
Oh,
one.
it's a classic.
It's a
Christmas
classic that I
movie.
do need to watch, but I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah,
yeah.
it. uh, yeah, I thought that was a really cool scene. I like the whole starting Krillian scene.
And I think that whole thing was a puppet. It
Oh
seemed
yeah,
the whole
no,
thing
no,
seemed really practical. There's a
like
lot of practical aliens and stuff
yeah,
going on in this. I liked
which
it a
is
lot.
actually really nice. I always enjoyed more
Yeah, it
of
always makes
aspects
it
like
feel
that.
Star Warsy,
I thought it was
as it should.
uh really cool that like the start of it, like when he's going into where all like he lives and all that. It like I told you, it reminded me of Snowpiercer. Like
Oh
at the
yeah, some
back
of
of
the
the
hallways
train,
and stuff.
like that
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
hallway scene just reminded me of like that, like dingy and grungy, like poverty ridden area. And and what else? There was
After that, then they just escape. They get the I forgot what was it, some sort of fuel or some sort of
yeah,
chemical.
the
There's a really
main
shady lady, lets them through.
yeah,
Kira
the
gets caught.
Imperial Guard, or I guess like Border Patrol.
Imperial Border
Patrol.
Patrol. And
And
then he sees the ad for the Navy, and I love the
yeah,
propaganda. That
yeah,
little things like that really stick out in this movie.
yeah. See, speaking of the little things, I was actually noticing when they were doing the whole Kessel run, and when they were first going to Kessel, uh, you would see very faintly in the background like the clouds move like around, like
Oh, and
as
the
their ship was going
vortex.
through.
Yeah.
So like they're going through the cloud, and you'd see like kind of wrap.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Again, it's just the little
There's just
small
cool stuff
stuff.
like that. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like the movie, some of the action bits, especially around that part, the Kessel Run part, I feel like it was dragging on for a while, and that's where I felt like my interest starting to like go a
Yeah,
little bit, even though I really liked what was going on. I don't know. I feel like a shorter runtime for the movie just would have made it.
yeah. A lot of the also thing with the beginning of it, which was one of my main things for this actor who plays the younger Han Solo,
Yeah.
is uh I don't really care how much or what he really looks like compared to how Harrison Ford is and all that, so long as he's able to play the character
Yeah,
well.
you need the
And
mannerisms.
I thought he played a pretty good Han Solo, and like at the beginning of
Definitely a
it,
good young Han
yeah,
Solo.
at the beginning of it, like it starts off with him trying to talk his way out of a situation he got himself in. Which, hey, how do we see Han Solo in the cantina
Oh
talking
yeah,
with
every
Greedo?
time.
Like, oh hey, I was just about to go talk to Jabba.
He's a little more suave when he's older, though. When Harrison's playing him, I feel like
I mean,
after the
but
end
yeah,
of this movie, he gets a little dark. I feel like until
he's
the end
still
of A New
he's
Hope.
young in this. This is like the start of his smuggling days.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's still a spunky little kid,
yeah, he
even
does
though
like
he went through like 3 years of war.
yeah, that whole time jump too with like, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, cause
Yeah, I love that war scene. One of the best scenes in the movie.
the stormtrooper helmet or the
The Mud
outfit,
Troopers.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that was
I
cool.
always like when they show the different type or the different elements of the stormtrooper armor. Where you have
They had
like
the Shore Troopers in Rogue
yeah, and
One.
the
I like
snow
that.
troopers and
Yeah.
all that, which just adds more to it because there's in actual military the different like outfits for the different terrains. And Woody Harrelson, I think, did a pretty good job too.
Oh yeah.
In it, that whole the whole war scene, because
I love just the AT just getting dropped by all
yeah,
the AT
that was
carriers.
intense. Like I totally like it's one of the moments that I forgot about where
I wish
seeing it
they
again.
had the extended, the
Yeah.
whole shot. Have you watched it on
Uh.
YouTube? It's cool. It's literally just like I think like a minute and a half of him wearing like a Imperial Navy costume and he has like an eye patch or some shit like that because he was like doing some crazy shit in training and they just booted him out into the infantry. And I think there's a little bit more in the beginning of like the war stuff, and then the explosion happens, and you can tell that's when they jump into the scene. I'm like, oh man, that would have been so good if they just kept that in there.
Because I do remember, like, he gets kicked out of the military for,
Yeah, well, he says it later. Maybe that's why they cut it, because they're like, oh, we say it later, so we don't need to.
But it was good to see some of that defiance and the rogue bandit team that, it starts off like, oh, hey, here are these just kind of mercenary people, I guess. And the alien that was on the team, he reminded me
of Grizz from
yeah.
I don't think he was the same because Grizz only had two arms.
No.
Yeah, but they were really
they were
similar in
different
personality.
Species, yeah.
I would be surprised if they didn't kind of base. Well, they were
that's
probably
what
making the game beforehand, before the movie came out.
Solo, I don't know, because what Fallen Order came out in like
actually.
2019, and that
That's
was
true.
like what?
I remember it got
17?
announced like 2017 though.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm pretty sure Solo came out not too long before it, though.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up. When did Last Jedi come out? 2016.
Last Jedi came out.
Man,
yeah, somewhere.
Did Force Awakens comes out? Freaking dogs out there going crazy.
Yeah.
Did was The Force Awakens 2014? No, that's
all right. So the Last Jedi was 2017. So that means
Okay.
that the Force Awakens was 2006.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So it was. So then, yeah. Then when did Fallen Order come out?
2019. For sure.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah.
So then it probably would have been announced either like in 2018 or so, like the first actual official announcement of, oh, hey, we're working on this. This is what we're doing.
I remember there was like a super awkward, I think it was like E3 or something, and they kind of just like dropped in on the developer of the game. Like he didn't know it was gonna happen, and some girl sat down next to him like, we heard you're working on a Star Wars game. You want to give any reveals? And he had not planned to give any reveals, and he's just like, yeah, it's a game where he plays a Jedi called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And they're like, ooh, and it was just the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
But oh yeah, during the whole war scene, we get to meet Chewbacca.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that whole
the
scene
intro
with
of the
Chewie was
monster.
actually really nice because
Mhm.
like when you first watch it, you don't really know what to expect. Like honestly, when I first watched it, I thought, oh hey, they're going to have like a Rancor or something like
something.
that. Because take him to the beast or whatever they said.
Mhm.
And then Chewie coming out, and also seeing Chewie from like his like one episode in the Clone Wars series, where Yoda even addresses him as Chewbacca. So then something at that point, Chewbacca gets captured with probably the other Wookiees that are that were captured by the Empire during that time.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, Han knowing how to speak Wookiee.
Yeah, somehow he just knows how to do all kinds of shit growing up.
In that fight
Maybe there was a
scene,
little
too.
Wookiee orphan that they never showed.
Oh yeah,
Living on Corellia. That would have been cool. I would have loved that.
The fight scene was pretty cool. It actually I didn't think about it when I was reading the comic book, but when I was watching the movie, the fight scene between Han and Chewie and the pit reminded me of the fight scene between Chewie and another Wookiee in the Vader comic.
The one that was the what years? Which one? What series are you reading right now? I always forget.
I'm doing the 2015 one. That was the I guess like it's one of the first canon ones that I found, because I found another Vader one that came out around that same year, but it's not canon, it's Legends. So I was like, I'm not gonna read
weird.
that
And
right
it
now.
came out in the same year?
Somewhere around there.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like it's Vader something says something. It's an edgy title. But that was really cool to see because there's like Wookiee underground fighting. It's
Yeah, you don't get to see Chewbacca going apeshit a lot.
oh
Really, at all.
it's the 2012 one.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's probably coming out during the Disney acquisition.
It was a Star Wars Purge.
Oh, okay. So probably pretty similar, just about as early days.
Yeah,
ripping
probably.
through Jedi. Yeah.
And then you have the train heist afterward.
Oh yeah, I love the train heist. Like I think I said earlier, reminds me of that mission in what is it, Jedi Academy. In the first set of missions, I think it's the last one running through the
something like that.
Yeah, the train sequence.
Yeah. Which actually, now that I think of it,
and
you
Jedi
start
Fallen
out,
Order. I just realized that. I totally forgot.
That's
it
one
is
of the
a similar
first
thing
tutorial
on the rails.
missions.
Yeah. Oh man.
Which I guess is pretty cool because in like the normal trilogy, they don't really do that. We got a little bit of like the speeder chasing in episode 2 and
3 or 6.
Yeah. What?
Right?
No, I'm talking about on Coruscant. When they're going after the bounty hunter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when he's chasing the bounty hunter.
Yeah, and he's going from like car to car or
right.
Yeah, all that.
Well, speaking of bounty hunters, I totally didn't catch this until this viewing, or I guess I just forgot that Beckett killed Aura Singh.
Oh yeah,
they just throw that in there.
Yeah, that was a total like casual, and it wasn't like a big deal. It was a casual thing. What it was, Lando, made a comment that he killed Aura Singh.
Yeah, because he was thanking him.
Yeah,
because he had like he owed her a bunch of money or something.
And young Lando was actually played pretty well.
He did a really good job.
Like it reminded me even of like the Lando we see in the sequel trilogy too. Still like that same kind of like attitude.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, Billy D never changes.
Can't change.
He's smooth. He is Lando, you know.
I mean,
hey, baby.
But it's a great role too.
I know. I love when you first see him. He does a perfect Billy D. Williams impression.
He does.
My only complaint with it is that you can see like between the reshoots, because there are weird times like in parts of the movie where it sounds like he has this weird British accent, and then other times where it just sounds like he kind of turned it off completely. Like when he has to be loud and stuff, you can just hear Donald Glover's kind of normal voice come out. But I love it. I'm excited for the Lando show. I have no idea when that's coming out.
I totally forgot that there was. Is he going to?
I would assume so. You know, honestly, I don't even know if it's live action.
What's his name?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, yeah.
I hope it's live action. I would love to see him come back, and I would love to see them just continue that story, because I know they were gonna make sequels to Solo, but after it kind of like bombed, they were just like, nah.
I don't even know if they said what the third movie of that was going to be, because there's gonna be the 3 independent films.
Yeah, but they never even said, really, did they?
Because it got to The Last Jedi, and they saw the reviews for that, and then Solo came out, and Solo didn't do too well either. So they were like, yeah, hey, JJ, can you fix the last one? And we're just not going to make a third Solo movie. Because there was Rogue One, Solo, and there's got to be one other.
And I don't know if they ever announced what it was actually going to be.
I don't think so.
I'm sure there were rumors and stuff if we look back around when it was all happening. Movie. That's been a rumor forever. I feel like there's been fake trailers of a Kenobi movie on YouTube for fucking years.
Or Gonk, a Star Wars story.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what I'm looking forward to. I just want to say too, this drink is delicious.
The meat? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't. Last
delicious.
time I had meat, I did not like it. Whatever.
Well, it was probably because it was the other one that I had with the hibiscus and hops in it. It's definitely a different flavor. This is just more just like standard. Like,
I remember. No, that wasn't bad. I remember that one. It was a little intense. I'm talking about that weird Viking one I got from the dude at my work.
Oh, okay.
It was like cheap. It wasn't nice.
Yeah, no, this is one of my other favorite brands. It's this one, and then I always get the Viking blood meat also.
Yeah, this is really tasty.
You know, I mean, one of my favorite drinks. And then after the whole train scene, which we see a majority of the crew die, which was actually kind of like,
yeah, they get murked right away.
Like they did kind of a pretty nice job of like, hey, here are some characters that you can kind of start to.
Yeah, I was in it. I was like, okay, this is the squad.
Yeah, you can start to connect to. You're like, okay, cool. We're gonna be with these guys a bit more throughout the movie. We're gonna see like them do other crazy shit, and then
it made me really like Beckett though. Because after that, I got super attached to Beckett, and I was pissed when he betrayed him by the end of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely a twist because, like, at the end of it, where I honestly forgot that it was Beckett. There's so much to this movie that just is so hard for me to
I know.
remember.
I think it's just, I don't know. It's fun.
I mean, but it wasn't bad. I don't
it's just
think
a
it was,
story. It literally is a
yeah,
Star Wars story.
I don't think it was done bad. I don't think any of the actors or actresses really, did a bad job with their characters.
Yeah.
I guess some of the pacing was a bit better. I will definitely say it was more of a.
Yeah, I would say it had maybe some pacing issues.
It kept my attention for a majority more than The Last Jedi did. Say that. But yeah, that whole betrayal, because I thought it was going to be, even rewatching it, I was like, oh, the twist is gonna be the chick who doesn't like Crimson Dawn, Flag Smasher, from the
Flag. That's right. Yeah.
from the Falcon and Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Falcon
from the
and Winter
Marvel
Soldier.
and the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. Which I totally didn't realize until you pointed it out to me that it was the same actress. Still, dude does a really good job in both of them, I say.
Yeah, she's good. It is weird how they are like the exact same character.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it was gotta be her as like, oh hey, it's the betrayal. We're going to take all the money and the fuel, and we're just gonna kill you, and that'll be that. But I was like, oh shit, Woody Harrelson, it was you. How could you?
I wish Han would have adopted his like cowboy style dual pistols.
Yeah. But I mean, we know Hana's iconic as one pistol.
No, yeah, you couldn't change up his whole style. I remember. Did you ever see the cinematic trailers for the Star Wars MMO back when they were first coming out? They had like that smuggler. Oh, it's dope. There's a character a lot like Beckett where he has a big cowboy brim hat and like this fucking like brown sort of like duster coat
like,
armor, and he's like moving like a cowboy.
The one bounty hunter from the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, a lot like that. Yeah. Cad Bane.
Cad Bane, yeah. Yeah, I think he used dual pistols, didn't he? I mean, so did Django.
He was a great character.
Cad Bane?
Yeah, especially for those early seasons.
Oh
dude.
yeah, no, he added a whole good like fresh bounty hunter.
Love the voice actor too.
Yeah, it gave it more of a menacing like yeah, this is an evil dude who.
And he worked with Orsing, right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And so then, after the train, after we see crew die and all that, then we.
Oh, also earlier we see the blaster pistol.
Oh yeah.
He takes apart the sniper,
the
and that's
sniper.
why it's just fucking blowing holes in walls in A New Hope.
Yeah, fucking Beckett, Woody Harrelson gives Han his weapon.
This movie has a lot of little stuff like that. The stuff where the plot kind of, I feel like, drags on a little bit. It's a lot like Rogue One, how it has all this little stuff in the background.
They also have to add stuff for, like, because this is, like, origin story stuff. Like,
yeah.
Oh, how did Han get his pistol?
How did he get his name? How did he meet Chewbacca?
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't do, like, oh, how did he get his jacket? And all that.
Right.
But, we see how he gets the Falcon, even though that's, like, at the very end, technically, but.
Man, I forgot how trashed it gets by the end of that movie.
Yeah, a little bit. I will still say
it is so sleek in the very beginning.
From the first time I saw like the trailers and the posters and everything, I didn't like the blue on the Falcon. I don't know what it was. It didn't sit right with me. I just every time I saw the blue, I'm like, that just.
It's blue, sleek. It doesn't have like the pronged fork in it. It's like, what's happening here?
I mean, even without that, it was just the color, like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the color scheme.
Like compared to.
And it was so white. It wasn't sandy and sort of worn down.
Guess so.
It was pure, just white and blue.
It was never really sat right.
Captain America,
with me.
no.
I mean, yeah. But then we go to a big fucking space party. That's cool.
I love the space yacht. I love the freaking head. Just the floating head with the groans like,
yeah.
That
like,
was great.
I don't know. That scene's always weird for me.
Yeah, I've watched like reactions of people watching the movie, and they always have a weird reaction to that scene. I love it though.
that's one of the major scenes. Like, that singing part is a major scene that I always forget. So, like, every single time I watch it, it's also kind of new. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, specifically the girl with, like, the robot mouth part. And then the alien
And then the
dude.
weird chicks with
Yeah, just
their
the
brains cut off. They're just like
just
these
the
weird slaves.
upper half of the head
I love
up.
that scene. I feel like it's this part of
I
Star
mean-
Wars that you haven't seen. It's like going into the cantina. I feel like it's kind of what The Last Jedi tried to do with the casino scene.
Yeah, the Canto
but,
Bite scene.
Yeah, but I feel like Solo did it better. Like these this high class upper echelon.
With the Canto Bite scene, it was
felt
more,
really like kind of fucked up.
well,
in that,
the
but I
Canto
liked
Bite
that,
scene
though.
was
It
like
cool.
dog tracks and casino and betting, whereas this was like rich person having like
a weird
crazy
Star Wars jazz club with
Yeah.
slaves and
like crazy
I
rich
liked
people.
it. It was
party.
like it felt
You
kind of like
know,
fucked up. I'm
like,
like, this is cool.
people aren't doing coke in the bathroom; they're doing it on the glass
on the
table.
couch, yeah, smoking their opium pipes to that deep
Like-
talking head, like doo-doo.
Yeah, honestly, it was better of a song.
They're
than,
spice, Jayce.
I mean, yeah, spice. Yeah, that's the main drug of Star Wars and death sticks. Don't forget about those, kids.
Bro, I just go up to ships and snort just hyperspace fuel straight to the gut.
I mean, how do they make that hyperspace fuel? Because I do know,
Coaxium.
yeah, cool. But don't they make that from spice? Can't they also make that fuel from spice? I know spice is a very versatile like drug and material in the Star Wars universe.
I think they could just get it unrefined at the same mines that they just happen to mine spice
Kind of
at.
like it's a byproduct.
Yeah, like that's just also there. It's one of the
Yeah.
only. Yeah, I think that's all it is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Star Wars never really gets too into the technical side of things either.
No,
you know?
I guess not. But yeah, the whole party, Chewie just like fucking out doing his own thing. Everybody,
I like that no one really questioned that Wookiee was there.
yeah.
He's just
I
kind
mean,
of chilling.
well, like I
He even shook what was it, Dryden's hand, right?
Yeah.
And he like hits Han. He's like, "Did you see that?"
yeah, like this dude fucking he doesn't even
Respect. I like this place. It's like I get used to this life.
know me. I mean, everybody knows in Star Wars, every creature is just coexist except for robots.
Did Chewie always have double bandoliers strapped, or did he only have one in A New Hope? Do you even remember? Because I remember in this he just has like two. I'm just like,
Yeah,
damn,
he has
Chewie's
the Y
strapped.
like strap. I think he just has the one in A New Hope.
Yeah, and this one he was just loaded up.
Yeah.
I love all the Wookiee stuff. Really getting to see him fight and throw Han around
Yeah.
and throw the other troopers around. Like, smack
mean,
the
even when
arm. He pulls off the fucking
he pulls
arms.
off guard's arm, which just reminded me of the scene in when 3PO is playing chess against Chewie, and 3PO is like, well, nobody ever complains about making a droid mad. And Han's like, well, a droid won't tear off your arms, make him mad.
I remember them saying they wanted to put some scene. I think it was The Force Awakens of Chewie tearing off the arms of like one of the gangsters or something in The Force Awakens, but they didn't do it because it was too brutal.
You were able to tear off the arms of the stormtroopers in the old Lego Star Wars games. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, when Lego Star Wars the Skywalker Saga comes out, get it for the Xbox because we're playing that shit together.
Oh, co-op on that?
Yeah,
The
whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. 100%. I'll be down for that.
Dude, that would be so
Alright,
much
so if
fun.
they're gonna do the whole thing, do you think they're going to add Rogue One and Solo?
I hope they do. I would be surprised even if.
Because I figured
Maybe
they do
they could do
mainly the
anything.
movies.
Yeah.
'Cause I wouldn't think that they would throw in. Well, I mean, they might throw in some stuff for
Ahsoka has to be in there. She's too big of a character.
Oh
not
yeah,
to
of
be
course.
in.
Well, I was saying they could do
the
stuff
collection of
for like
everything.
the Clone Wars show or the Rebel show, because that is still technically the saga. But I don't know. I feel like they
yeah.
would do primarily just the
Maybe they'll
movies,
just
so.
come out with DLC levels. I'd love that.
If they also when
I
they
love
do
them just
come
to
out
have
with
that game and just
I
ride
want
that game
them
for a few
to
years.
have the old school back to tank character creator. Do you remember that also?
Oh yeah,
Where
yeah,
there's the
yeah.
two back to tanks and you
And
can
you
like
just switch through
customize your character. Yeah.
Yeah,
the best.
I hope it's. I mean, I just didn't like the Force Awakens Lego game. There was it just didn't. I mean, I hadn't played a Lego game in such a long time. It
Yeah,
just didn't give me
I'll
the
say
old
that
vibes.
they're
There's a lot of different things going on. Getting to levels felt. I don't know. It just
they
wasn't as fun
in
to
a
me.
lot of modern Lego games compared to the old Lego games, they've changed a lot. There's a handful of quality of life stuff, and it's definitely an adjustment. Like if
Yeah.
you've grown up playing like the old Batman Lego or the old Lego Pirates of the Caribbean and
Harry
all
Potter.
that.
That's an older
Yeah,
Lego series, also. Yeah.
before they really added like voice acting and all of
Oh,
that.
I'd love to play through the Harry. We can get
Both of them. There's
the Harry Potter collection 1 through 7 on Switch
yeah,
for
it's
like
actually
6.
on sale right now. By the
Is
way,
it really?
yeah.
Oh, microscopic.
I mean, I got the I got Lego superhero collection
Nice.
because the deluxe version of both Marvel and the DC villains were on sale for like $11 to $14.
Hell yeah.
I'm like,
That's a
oh,
good
let's
deal.
do both of those. Anyways, back to Star Wars. um, yeah, and like, Chewie was just hanging out. Uh, I what was his name? The dude who plays Vision. Just said it too.
Ooh, what's his name?
Uh,
I don't remember.
but his character, I actually thought was pretty well, especially like seeing him play like the good, like play a superhero as
Oh
of
yeah,
recent.
seeing him play a villain was fun. Yeah, Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss,
Yeah.
yeah. I always like to see when the actor who plays like a really good, upstanding like character or like specifically like a superhero because he's after this he plays Vision and Jarvis for a majority of like the Marvel stuff. I always find it really refreshing to see them take a darker role, kind of like Tim Curry doing Hexus and Ferngully. I don't know if you've ever watched that.
I've seen Ferngully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's awesome animation. Or even like Mark Hamill playing the Joker, voicing the Joker. He does it, or Fire Lord Ozai. He voices Fire Lord Ozai, and he does a
that's
great
right.
job as it.
Mark Hamill's in Invincible.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he might be the costume designer. I can't remember which character he is.
That's dope.
Dude, you should look at the cast list later. There's so many people
No,
in that.
what's her face from Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, the
plays
mom.
the mom.
And Steven Yeun, Glenn, is Invincible. He's the main character. Tenzin is the dad.
Man.
And Tenzin is also Peter Parker. That's what's his name?
Jameson?
Yeah, Jameson. That's all the same actor. He does Tenzin and the dad.
They have a really good cast for that.
Yeah, there's a few other people. There's a girl from Community. Is Eve, I think. There's a few other people that you'd recognize.
Yeah. But
it's a good cast.
Yeah, like seeing him play kind of as a more and because you can have some good evil characters in Star Wars, like not just like this evil, but like the Syndicate and Underground people.
I want to see Maul again in live action, baby.
Actually, that was really nice. Seeing that again, because I kind of forgot how they made Maul look. He looked a bit older.
It's just because the actor is a lot older. Yeah, a lot more filled
obviously, out. But like, they even talked about like the Hutt Syndicate. And this is still like how many years after the Galactic Empire is formed now?
I don't know. It's
because it's after Episode 3, but it's before Rogue One, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So if he fights the war,
let's just say like 5 years. I'm gonna say later, same time as like Jedi Fallen Order ish, just height of the Empire. Okay. You know.
I mean, because Fallen Order was like
5
years. Yeah. So that seems about reasonable. Because, the Empire's still on the rise and all that. But, like the Hutt Syndicate is still, booming even during the Age of the Empire. Which is actually an interesting thing to see because it.
The Outer Rim. I mean, even you said it to me. Yeah, Shmi Skywalker.
Where she
they
says,
don't have jurisdiction out there, really.
Yeah, when Padme was like, well, during the times of the Galactic Galactic Republic, Padme was like, well, there shouldn't be slaves because of the Republic anti-slavery laws, and Shmi Skywalker's like, those laws don't reach to the Outer Rim.
Yeah, I mean, same with Pike. That's why they had all those slaves. Yeah. So I'm sure the Empire has like troops there.
I mean, but you also have to think, would Palpatine really want to take away a lot of that? Because he could use a lot of that for benefit, too.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's he's trying to run a galaxy.
Yeah.
He's not trying to kill everybody.
I mean, plus he likes to use a lot of the outer rim and the outskirts of the galaxy for a lot of his, like, crazy Sith practices and all that shit.
Yeah.
There was the replica. I think it was a replica. I don't really know
right.
what it was.
It had to be.
It looked
Sith
just like a
holocron.
Sith holocron, yeah. And it was surrounded by things that looked like lightsabers. And I didn't notice it at any of the
replicas
times.
or something, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it. I know why I caught it this time, though. Because one of the alternate, like, thumbnail designs for this that I was thinking of is, like, having an image projected from a Sith holocron. So I got pictures of a Sith holocron. So I was really, like, studying those and looking at it.
Oh, yeah, because you said as soon as you saw the symbols, you're like, wait a second, pause that.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, because Jedi holocrons are more cubes and squares, whereas Sith holocrons are the more
the pyramid, yeah.
And even just design, it looks so much like it. Like, it's just ever so slightly tweaked.
Just really big, yeah. Maybe it was just a model. Because honestly, if those were lightsabers right there, he would have just whipped one out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no
which kind of would have been sweet, honestly.
Yeah, we didn't see any lightsabers in this one. There was no...
he technically lit it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to sort of be like, hey, in case you still didn't get it, it's fucking Darth Maul.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He had his lightsabers that were in Rebels.
Rebels, yeah.
Yeah.
Because this would be right before, or ish, Rebels.
They remind me of
5
the
to 10 years
Inquisitor
before.
Lightsabers.
Yeah, they did. They'd had like those curves on them, didn't they? Maybe he stole them.
I mean, who knows? I mean,
last time we saw him in Clone Wars, he was just on the run.
Yeah.
Remember, you see Dryden Voss in the Clone Wars for half a second. Yeah, in that last episode before Ahsoka goes to confront Maul in like the sewers of Mandalore, you see him talking to a bunch of different crime syndicates, and you see a really young Dryden Voss of the Crimson Dawn like fade away in a teleporter. They just added it just cause, you know.
I just got done with or one of the episodes I just got done with in the Clone Wars was where all the Hutts get together and talk to see if they want to release what's his face? Someone Hutt.
Zero?
Yeah, Zero.
Yeah, right.
Which again I thought was also really cool because the only other time you really see any other Hutts besides Jabba
is that one time in Phantom Menace, his lady.
Where you see Syndulla, I believe. Isn't that Syndulla the Hutt?
Syndulla? I don't know the name.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. I could
Syndulla sounds like a familiar name.
I mean, Syndulla is a different character. I think in Rebels, it's like Syndulla.
Yeah.
Hutt. Or Garduna the Hutt, because it's whoever sold
Garduna's son.
It's whoever originally owned Anakin's family before
before Jabba?
Oh no, not before Jabba, before
Watto?
Yeah, Watto. Because in episode 1, while Anakin I think is telling to Padme that Watto won him and his mother from like Hut on the pod races.
Oh, dude, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Because that name sounded really familiar.
Yeah.
Gardula. I'm like, where have I heard that?
Because
That's totally a line from Phantom Menace.
Like, he won them from the pod races. Because they like to bet on the pod races. On the Boonta Eve. And actually, the Boonta Eve pod races, I learned this recently, that Greedo gets his shit kicked in by Anakin during the Boonta Eve pod races when he's talking shit about Anakin.
Oh, yeah, right.
To finish.
Yeah, they totally. The prequels has so many like characters
it was a
in it
whole
that are just
deleted
there
scene,
randomly.
But like, yeah. And then they have to, they start back to Solo and all that from the sidetrack. Then they start to develop the plan to do the Kessel Run.
Right. Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, yeah, they covered all the bases of his origin story.
Who plays Daenerys is love interest of the movie. I don't remember her name in this
Emilia
one.
Clarke. That's what it was.
And then and then shortly afterwards,
I feel like that's where I kind of started to be like, the action scenes started getting so drawn out because after they got the mission to go get the unrefined coaxium, it just kind of goes. They meet
it goes
Lando,
to
and
Lando,
that's
yeah.
fun. And then there's like
Get
stuff
to
going
see
on
Sabak.
there, and it just feels like a lot of action, which normally I like, but it just, I don't know. It felt like parts of it could have just been kind of cut down.
I mean, there was that whole scene from them going to the yacht to meeting Lando and getting the ship. It's more of like you see high society party to some cantina party because they're betting on cards and Lando's droid.
I did love all the there's so many different aliens there.
Yeah. No,
How they had like in the background that
like
huge guy.
Mosconaut's cantina.
It was kind of like that, yeah. I almost thought at the very, very end when he wins the Millennium Falcon that was Mosconata's, but it was way too jungly.
Yeah,
like
no, it was a different place. But yeah, it was just all the different variety of characters there. It was always great. I think what was it? It might have been on the yacht where there was like that little alien just on the table. You
Oh yeah,
briefly,
that was on the yacht, yeah.
But yeah, it's like that whole scene to the end of them getting to Lando is like, I would say, kind of plot building, I guess. But like, I don't know. You see,
it just definitely feels like a different genre of movie, other than the normal kind of structures we get, I guess, in Star Wars. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a filmmeker or anything, but
you see,
that's just the vibe it gave me.
You see Lando,
literally just a heist movie, a very long heist movie.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a buddy
it's
heist movie for
story.
sure. Yeah.
It's like Banditos.
Yeah, the whole thing is like this one job,
rob a train.
Yeah.
You see Lando's robot try to start a robot uprising.
Yeah, that was funny. It was kind of annoying though.
Yeah,
it had its moments.
I mean, that was also an interesting thing because really, they're in the Star Wars universe. All the species from all the different planets just coexist. There's no like, oh, he's from that planet, so fuck them.
Because they got robots to fucking gang up on.
Yeah, robots are the minority being oppressed in the Star Wars universe. It's like, oh, fuck droid right. They're just robots.
Don't serve their kind here, yo.
Yeah, literally. It even at the bar.
Oh yeah, please, thank you.
Like at the bar, the bartender even says, "Oh, we don't serve their kind." Just kind of like a callback also to the to New Hope, where 3PO and R2 are having to wait outside because the bartender says, "Oh, we don't serve their kind." And people just fuck up droids. Like they don't. I mean, there was the droid at the beginning, who was the gatekeeper on Carillion, where the people Han was running from fucking just destroyed.
So overall rating out of 10, Solo.
Overall rating out of 10.
I feel like that's kind of hard to do with Star Wars movies because I love them all to an extent. So
I would give this one definitely a solid 8 to 8.5, maybe an 8.7.
10 being Revenge of the Sith, 8.7.
I mean, Revenge of the Sith was actually pretty good. All jokes aside, for people who have the hate for the prequels and.
I think Revenge of the Sith is pretty universally liked.
Revenge of the Sith is the peak of the prequels. I will say
sure.
that. They hit their mark with that.
Might be a little biased just because we were young when they came out.
I mean, but still, even rewatching it.
That's true.
Even rewatching it, they do a really good balance of lightsaber fights and the duels, and they give you a good sense of the drama. Yeah, sure, there could be a little less of the over dramatic stuff, but if you watch the original trilogy, you still have that. basic example is New Hope. I was gonna go into Tashi Station and pick up some power converters.
The best line in cinema history.
But I thought overall it was a good story. They had a lot of good Star Wars aspects. They gave a lot of good information on oh hey, this is how they got the Falcon. I enjoyed kind of how they put Lando's robot memory into the Falcon.
Yeah, I think there's some little comment like that in Empire where C-3PO plugs in and says it has a very similar code to a droid or something like that.
Yeah, I now that you mention it, I do that does sound familiar. So
Yeah.
sort of comment with that. But yeah, I would say good, solid 8 to 8.7 in my opinion.
I'd probably give it a 7. I feel like I've seen it a few times now. I don't know. I'm not. Maybe I'm not gonna watch it for a while. That's for sure.
The problem with me is that it's always very forgettable for me. Whenever I want to go and watch specifically a Star Wars movie, there's a lot of them that come up into my mind of oh, I haven't watched that one in a while, or oh, I was thinking about
that one's definitely in the back of the mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could argue even The Last Jedi is more in front of your mind just because of what happened.
Yeah. I would say for how it is in my mind, whenever I would choose to watch a Star Wars film, the two that are kind of probably in the back of my mind that I really want to think about much would be Solo, and then probably right behind that, The Rise of Skywalker. And again, overall, The Rise of Skywalker wasn't even too terribly bad. It was. I enjoyed it a little bit more than I did The Last Jedi, but it got
from just an entertainment aspect. Yeah,
it got hit with the sequel syndrome that a lot of movies haven't had recently, where it was the first movie that comes out done really well received. The sequel is not as good, still all right, not anything bad, and then the third one is a hit or miss of it could be good or it could be kind of bad. And that's kind of where it fell into, unfortunately. Yeah. But if I'm gonna think to watch a Star Wars film, I don't know, I think Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Or
my first thought is usually just Star Wars. Just A New Hope.
A New Hope, yeah.
That's definitely my favorite Star Wars movie.
And I mean, getting into that was actually a question I was gonna ask you, is which would be your favorite Star Wars movie?
And Star Wars for sure.
We can now switch over to the second half of it where we can well actually you
we rated the movie. It's got we're good.
Yeah, we'll switch over to the second half where we'll spark up and start the conversation off with our favorite Star Wars movies. Because my favorite Star Wars film, and this is just from growing up too, would definitely be Episode 2, Clone Wars.
Really?
Yeah, mainly because it's a lot of nostalgia with it. Because it was also one of the first main Star Wars movies that I watched.
For sure.
Because growing up, I remember watching Revenge of the Sith. I don't ever really remember watching Phantom Menace. I don't really think we had a way to watch Phantom Menace, but I had the VHS tape of Attack of the Clones. So I watched that one consistently. And then, my parents growing up with the original saga, I watched them kind of whenever they were on or in passing, but it wasn't ever really oh yeah, we're gonna sit down and watch Star Wars and then Jedi and Empire.
Right. You were just watching them as you kind of had them. I get that. That's a surprising answer though. I would not have thought you were gonna say Attack of the Clones. Because that, Especially as a kid, it has like a lot of the lovey-dovey stuff, and I remember being.
I mean,
kinda
yeah,
like,
it does kind of have a lot of the lovey-dovey stuff, but it also has a lot like the Camino scene, like where
Camino is dope. The whole
like the Django and
yeah,
Obi-Wan fight, and then fucking even Django gets killed in that movie. The
yeah,
whole
yeah.
Battle of Geonosis, where you see all the Jedi.
And that beginning scene in Coruscant's pretty dope too, when they're racing through and got to go into the cantina. There's some really dope.
Like,
There's some really dope stuff in all the.
Like one of my main scenes that I remember from that one is literally when they're landing on Coruscant and Padme's ship being blown up.
Yeah, that's right. That's an intense intro. I remember it really there's like you visually see the difference between episode 1 and episode 2.
Yeah.
Episode 2 felt a lot darker. It was all sort of weathered and stormy on Coruscant, and everything blows up, and the CGI looked great. I think episode 2 also. Maybe it's episode 1. I think it's episode 1 has the most practical effects and miniature sets.
Yeah, because
any Star
episode
Wars
1 they
movie.
were still doing. Episode 1 even had the Yoda that was still actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
a figure.
I remember
Yoda.
having a copy of that version.
Yeah. Then later on they made it more CGI for like the remakes and all that, but like episode 2 had the CGI Yoda. And then so on and so forth.
Yeah, because he can't do that fight with a puppet.
And then, yeah, I mean, like, A New Hope and just like Star Wars, because that's also the thing too. Is when it first came out, it was just Star Wars. There wasn't like a subtitle to it, because
Oh yeah,
there really wasn't a thought of we'd get this popular where we'd have to continue the story. It was just Star Wars and a space novella.
yeah. There's some good shit in Attack of the Clones. I mean, the arena scene, the whole arena, is a big half. Just a huge
well,
little
even
set.
before
like
that,
the
you
Death
see
Star.
the scene with the droid factory on Geonosis. 3PO and R2 and Leia, or not Leia, Padme and Anakin. That's another spot where Anakin breaks and loses his lightsaber.
Yeah. It's kind of. I remember that part getting kind of padded down with. Though I feel like the whole war scene was too padded down with C-3PO's like head getting attached to the droid and everything.
Well, there's also when they're fighting the creatures in the arena, too.
Oh yeah, the Geonosians. Tragic story of the Geonosians. Their whole race gets wiped out.
Basically.
By Rebels. Remember there's a Rebels episode where they just get like the last one? Like it's just one.
Yeah.
And they describe how they just wiped out the whole planet after everything.
I keep telling you this too, but you really should read the Vader comic.
I know. I'll get the login from my buddy.
Like, not only is there like plenty of badassery that you see of Darth Vader, but you see like there's a spot where they go back to Geonosis.
And the one you're reading right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Vader's even asked, "Oh, have you been to Geonosis before?" And he was like, "Once."
By who? By Tarkin?
No. There's a whole new character that gets.
Oh, for sure.
Actually, Tarkin does get a name drop in it.
Nice.
Because the 2015 Vader comics take place after the destruction of the first Death Star. Tarkin is technically dead.
Oh, okay.
But Tarkin had a Imperial droid project going, and Vader kind of recruits 2 of Tarkin's droids from that project, a astromech, and a protocol droid, kind of like 3PO.
Yeah.
It's basically the Sith version of 3PO and R2.
That's kind of dope, actually. That sounds cool.
And there's actually, a little bit of comedy later on, with like, that when Luke and everyone comes into, because there's a part where, kind of have to jump around comic book, and I haven't read the 2015 Star Wars comic book, but there's like 3 issues, 32 issues in the 2015 Star Wars comic book that tie into the Vader comic book. So if you're reading the 2015 Vader comic book in chronological order, you'll get to a part where it's called Vader Down. And it starts off with you have to read a standalone Star Wars Darth Vader comic book called Vader Down. And that's the first part. Then you go back to the Vader comic book, the 2015 one. Read like an issue there, and then you have to jump to the Star Wars 2015 comic book, where it's like Vader Down Part 3.
Oh, it's like the Clone Wars all over again.
Yeah,
the
it's
first 3 seasons.
I mean, I'm past that part. It's the whole new arc that's happening
Yeah.
right now, but
So I wanted to ask you, because I haven't talked to you about it since you showed me the picture, or since you were here last, I think. That fucking Lego Star Destroyer you got.
yeah.
Have you opened it yet?
No, I have not opened it
Okay.
yet. Oh my god, it's so huge. Like, so, there's a YouTuber from Achievement Hunter, Jack Patillo. For his Twitch stream, he actually started building that same exact Star Destroyer. It's a part of the Ultimate Creation collection of the Lego Star Wars set. They just dropped a Batwing set, a new Batwing set for that same collection. I recently went to the only Lego store here in Oregon, in Tigard. I call it Tigard. Not how you say it, but fuck everyone else. It's funner that way. So I went to the only Lego store because, me being a huge Lego fan, I went in there and I didn't really necessarily have a goal. There was a few sets that I was looking for. I knew I was gonna leave with at least one set. Definitely gonna check out the Star Wars selection. It was a small store. It was in a mall. So I was okay with the size because of where it's at. They can't do everything, unfortunately. There's a couple stores, in Washington. There's one in Washington and a couple in California. That I would love to go to like the bigger stores. That would fuck up crazy shit.
Yeah.
They had the Ultimate Creation collection of the Millennium Falcon, which comes in an almost just as big box as Star Destroyer.
Jesus.
And they had that fully built on display at the start of the Star Wars section
That's dope.
in the store, and it looked absolutely beautiful. I was looking at it and I was like, that I would love to build that. And then they had the box of the Imperial Star Destroyer, which is over 4,000 pieces.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a huge box. Like, it almost goes from the entirety of the back of my closet to the front. That's how long the box is.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah. I'm gonna have such a heyday when I open it and build it. I plan to knock that whole thing out literally in a day. Like, from morning to night.
You should Twitch stream it.
I could. I mean, I'd be crazy if I did. Oh, there'd be such a long stream.
Bro,
but
fuck it. You just fucking turn on the computer, just let it run.
I mean, I'd have so much fun.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's one of the Star Wars sets that I've wanted for a very long time. There's the 3 major ones that I would say that I want are the Ultimate Creation collection of the Millennium Falcon, the Imperial Star Destroyer, and the Death Star. Death Star is on my top.
Yeah,
because
I bet that is fucking huge.
Oh, it looks so fucking beautiful. Because there's a whole, like, inside, like, far more detail than the one you can buy at the store, like, inside and all that. But that, like, the Star Destroyer, because I haven't watched Jack's stream building it, because, I don't want to.
You don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, literally that. But my whole thing with it, too, is I can't really make it yet, because I need some place where I can just, like, keep. It's large
for
enough.
sure.
It's large enough where because where we're living now, we're not gonna, like, be there forever.
Oh yeah, transporting that would suck.
Yeah,
You have to like put it in the bed of a truck and surround it by like mattresses or not mattresses, but like plastic.
Like it'd be
bubble wrap and shit.
It'd be crazy. But the thing looks, because it comes it has a tiny um rebel corvette. That's actually what it's called, Leia's ship.
Oh, okay. It has one inside.
The
Death Star or the Star Destroyer?
The Star Destroyer.
What?
The pieces you build like a little one, so you can actually like have it be docked
rad.
and all that. It's pretty cool. There's a
recreate. You can stop motion the whole beginning scene of the first Star Wars.
It'd be so much fun. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be a project. It costs. I mean, all of them cost a lot. Because there's like the special limited one. And I saw the box like when I got there, and I was like moving around. I'm like, holy shit, this is a huge box, like bigger than I was expecting. And when I was leaving, and buying, I bought that, and I bought another Lego set. I was like, yeah, I also want that. Thinking that he just like give me that box. No, he goes to the back, comes out, and like is pushing it on a cart.
Jeez.
I have to carry the box.
Was it bigger than the display, or it was the same size? He just wanted to give you the nice one from the back.
Well, I mean, I think that was just like the out front display. Like, hey, we have this here.
So, it wasn't to scale of what he came out with.
I mean, it was the same box.
Oh, okay.
Like it. I mean, because when I got home, I opened it. It was literally that same box, just in a tighter, bigger box. Yeah, that will definitely be. It'll take so long. It's absolutely crazy because I think in total it's like 4,700, like 86 pieces or some shit like that. And yeah, it's definitely I'm saving it for a specific occasion. Like this is gonna be a special occasion thing.
Yeah.
I devote the whole day.
Hell yeah.
But I asked you a hypothetical question, the other day on how well do you think the Galactic Empire would handle a xenomorph attack or invasion?
I think they would be fine. You know why? Because lasers. If they're not cutting off their limbs, if their wounds are getting cauterized, if their blood isn't flying everywhere, they're good, bro.
Well, okay,
they have sensors everywhere.
So for people who may not know, xenomorphs are the alien creature from the Alien movies. They're basically bugs. They're pretty badass. I think they're pretty cool. My whole thought with it because I don't know, I was thinking of like Alien or Star Wars, probably both. I do that a lot. I was like, oh, I wonder. I would love to see Darth Vader fight a xenomorph.
Oh, he would kick ass for sure.
Oh, of course he'd kick ass. Like it, but like the thing is, if he's gonna fight a xenomorph, it wouldn't just be one xenomorph. It would more likely be how like Alien 2 is. And like I introduced you to the Alien series, but I kind of introduced you to it backwards.
Well, sort of. We watched Alien Covenant
a
long time ago, which was awesome. And I'm like, and I told you I'd never seen the other ones, and then we watched them from one all the way up to Prometheus.
Yeah.
In like a week.
Yeah.
Like we watched like 2 the first day, and then 2 a different day, and then the next 2 a different day. It was fucking awesome.
I mean, and it's a good.
I loved every single one. I have things I didn't like about them, but I loved every single one.
Keep in mind, the first Alien movie came out like a year or 2, either before or after the first Star Wars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those were like 2 major like peaks of, hey, this is the sci-fi genre now.
Yeah, this is how crazy it can get.
And yeah, I do agree with you. I think that the Empire would actually have a pretty good job at handling it. My thing is, I wonder how it would happen if there was a queen. Because I found a handful.
Darth Vader would fall into the pit. And then start rubbing his body around on the pit of the Remember the fucking fourth one, bro?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, remember all that weird shit was happening? I'm like, why does this seem like some weird freaky deaky French movie? And then you looked up the director, and it was directed by a French dude. I'm like, what?
The fourth. They got kind of weird near the end.
The best thing about that movie was the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that movie. I didn't like Ripley in the movie, except for that one scene where she killed all the clones of herself.
Yeah.
That was cool, but other than that,
it got real
far
weird.
out there. And then the end with like the nuke that hit the world that looked like it completely obliterated the world, and they're standing out there looking at it like, we're the good guys, we did it.
Totally
Let's go down there and land. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I found a handful of pictures of like Vader and stormtroopers fighting xenomorphs. And I would honestly say this: if Vader's crew or platoon of stormtroopers, they're not just like, oh yeah, I'm running the mill stormtroopers. It'd have to be good enough where Vader is like, yeah, y'all can hang.
Vader with just a bunch of death troopers.
Yeah, basically.
That'd be sick.
Hello.
Hi. All right.
That happened. And so like Vader with his platoon of troopers going up against xenomorphs, I think would handle that very, very well. Like Vader alone could handle that very well, but like the stormtroopers that he would deem worthy enough to command, kind of like his 501st, would, they'd honestly just like.
I'd love a cool fan animation of some horror scenario.
Yeah,
all the power goes out on the ship.
What if it got to the point where Palpatine deemed it bad enough that he had to intervene?
Dual wielding lightsabers.
Yeah, Palpatine and Vader just like.
Has Palpatine ever used his sabers after he got fucked up by one dude?
I think a few times, but I don't think we've really ever seen it in like any of the film or shows.
No.
Doesn't he do it in Rebels on the Mandalore episode with Maul and Asajj Ventress? And he fucks them up right good.
Savage would be dead by Rebels.
Would he?
Yeah, he died in Clone. That was in Clone Wars. That was like season 5 of Clone
Okay.
Wars. Yeah, Maul and Savage versus him. He just has the hood and he looks like Palpatine, but he's not all fucked up yet.
I guess
maybe his hands are too messed up.
No, I feel like he would still use them. Like he'd still be able to use them.
Yeah.
I mean, he shoots lightning pretty well. So.
Oh man, that was a fast hour.
Yeah. No, I think that was pretty good.
That was a fast hour. What do we think of? I think we should watch the 2D Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Or one of the. Or one of the Battle of Endor, one of the old Ewok movies.
Man, they just added all like a bunch of the.
Yeah, we should definitely watch the first hour of no. maybe another day, but of the 2D Clone Wars, because I haven't seen that since I was a kid and I saw it on YouTube.
I haven't actually watched them,
dude. There's
I do know
a couple of badass scenes.
I do know it's the first like actual on-screen appearance of Grievous
and Asajj, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, and Ventress.
Nice. Oh, dope. But yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, it's fire. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. May the force be with you, and peace.
All right.